Actor Malik Yoba was on The Breakfast Club and was attacked by a long trout mouth bass rumpelstiltskin leprechaun looking ass fool who sat in a white t-shirt opposite of Mr. Yoba. First of all, I commend Malik Yoba and his stance. I have no issue with him. I do have an issue with the trout mouth Cheshire cat and wanted to let him know that nothing is natural about the size of his big ass head and those Steve Urkel bifocals sitting up there looking like a rejected punk from ATL. When Malik went to speak, he said the words natural woman and was immediately interrupted, which was rude. How you all cut the man off but won't respect, right? By a toxic feminine spirit thirsty for dominance over the masculine spirit while trying to attack the real feminine. The guy in the white shirt was telling Malik to say assigned instead of natural. First of all, why are you trying to control how someone speaks? Second, how dare you sit up and say nothing is natural about a natural woman when you naturally came from a woman, made by a man? This is the underlying hatred I am speaking of. And this dude is not even trans. It's like, dude, mind your ugly ass business because we have our own issues to worry about. To the trans woman that said naturally born women don't own periods and don't own womanhood, bitch, are you dumb? Obviously so, cracking the fuck up. Okay, well, who owns it then, boo? I know it's certainly not you, sitting up there looking like Homie the Clown. Go gatekeep some of that cheap Mac off your face. Some of you trans women should record yourself and listen to the dumb stuff that you say before you get on someone's live to say some dumb shit like what that trans woman said. It's like some of the trans women are becoming so hyped up by these butch queens that they are really forgetting who and what they truly are. Some trans women are becoming so delusional in their way of thinking that they now believe they can say things that are not even backed by science. Just Hilarious was correct in what she said, and I see nothing wrong with it. The shady underlying hate for the natural woman by the trans community needs to be brought to light so that these women can know how you really feel about them. I am not saying all trans women are like this, but the majority are, and people like Laverne Cox are enablers. She will not call out her own trans sisters out of fear of retaliation and fighting, even when she knows that they are wrong. She did mention Magnus Hirschfeld, Jewish, a German physician and sexologist that was one of the first doctors to treat trans people. The Jewish elite is behind this transgender attack. They are at the head of all sexual perversion. They own most of the porn companies and have the biggest gay pride over in Israel. The Most High does not like vanity or pride. And like I said, most of what goes down at these gay pride events, sex, drugs, witchcraft, rituals, and violence is nothing to be proud about. Even the gay parades at the end of Pride, usually on Sundays, have become tacky. They would not want the cramps, menstrual cycles, and I'm sure after giving birth one time, they would be over it. A man's pelvis is not designed to spread to give birth. They will be pissed. But I don't care because I do have some trans women that I do have love for, like Flame Monroe. I love Flame because she is real. I agree with what she said to Brother Rizza Islam. It is this younger generation Z crazy. It is this younger generation Z that's crazy. And I believe it's these white trans elite people as well that are pushing the agenda, the gender agenda. Anything that the politicians do to satisfy this younger generation of LGBTQIA will never be enough. You should see how some transgender women sit up on bingo and treat each other like trash, but will get mad at me for having my opinion. I've seen this attitude firsthand with my cousin Lamian. He would use the excuse, oh, I just got a hormone shot, as to why he was getting into fights with people. It's all illusions. I can't believe the government is really being fooled like it is. I mean, I know there are a bunch of dummies, but to fall for this crap is asinine. But it's because of what many of your government leaders do in the dark themselves. Have you ever seen that movie, Eyes Wide Shut? Start there. I'm not about to be calling one person they or them. I don't see two of you. This is a community that wants their respect but will laugh at others. I remember one time seeing a trans woman showing disrespect to a woman that suffered from transracial identity. This is how I know that this community can be some of the biggest hypocrites. Transracial identity is a real thing, but I've seen how some trans people disregard transracial identity. Remember that girl Rachel Dolezal and what happened with her? She's just one example of transracial identity. I do not agree with any form of puberty blocking done to children under the age of 18 so that they can become transgendered. There's a drug called Lupron that was used to chemically castrate offenders. This drug has been prescribed by doctors to kids during puberty to block testosterone, offer gender reassignment. This is wrong, and I bet this is why this country will be judged soon. The country is already falling apart. I have seen news articles that are suggesting trans youth can get top surgery as long as they have their parents' consent. The crazy thing is that some parents are actually going through with this madness. Hey, do what you want because I have no kids, and baby, I am glad about it. Side note, I do want to say, parents, them as they kids, yes. Can't say, nothing about how kids are being raised, but I don't agree with the whole Zaya Wade situation. I don't agree with that either. I don't, and I'm gay, but then again, I don't agree with him wearing painted fingernails and all of that. That's so unattractive. To me, it's very unattractive, but I mean, to each his own, like I said, I don't know them, and it's not like whatever I think is going to stop them from doing whatever, but I don't agree. I don't agree with any of that, because if she does later on down the line, get to, and you hear me calling her she, right? I do respect her. I might not agree, but I do respect her. If she later on gets down the line, because this is how I feel. See, I'm a realist, man. This is how I feel. You later get down the line, and you, well, I made a wrong decision, and I just wish my parents would have, let me wait till I get to 18. Nah. No, bitch. Nah. We ain't trying to hear none of that shit. We ain't trying to hear none of that. So, yes, do what you want to do. But you better be sure about what you want to do, because if you get to that, I don't want to hear your sob story. I don't want to hear that. Especially from no bitch that come from two parents that got money. No. Saudi, Arrivederci. Out of here. So you making this decision, honey, you better stay. Because everybody know. I don't give a damn. When we was kids, we all said it's crazy shit we wanted to do and be. We did. So, yeah. Okay, it's cool. Do you. But all I'm saying is, if you get down the line and you want to come out and, I just wish my parents. Don't blame that on your parents. Don't blame that on your parents. Well, I mean, you can, because they was the dummies that allowed you to do it. But you need to own your responsibility in it too. Own your shit too. Because you had people telling you that this was, because I'm going to be the first to make a post. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't. Because, first of all, y'all come from money. And, and that's the thing, like, celebrities, they don't get that. They don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in her situation, she's going to have the best doctors. She's going to have the best medications. She's going to have top notch compared to what the rest of the girls had to go through and struggle. Some of these bitches are still getting hormones from their friends. And we in 2024. They don't want to talk about that either. But whatever. I never wanted to bring an innocent child into this cruel world. If I did have kids, I would never be able to let them out of my sight. And that just would not work in my life right now. I want to make this clear. I don't have an issue with the trans community outside of what I have been speaking on. I've had friends who are trans. I've seen the dangers that come with being trans, even when they are just minding their own business. I do not agree with trans people being beaten on and killed because of their lifestyle. No one has the right to murder anyone unless they are protecting themselves or their family. I get that. But I also believe that shows like Kaba Baba Rave should not be done in front of children. I don't agree with drag queens reading books to children either. I am not alone in saying this. I was proud to see a drag queen, Kitty D'Amour, speak out about this. The appeal of drag shows is that they revel in sexual dissidence, as the American drag queen Kitty D'Amour has pointed out. And I have written right here what she said word for word, but I figure
I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much, other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage? I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore. To actually get them involved in drag is extremely, extremely irresponsible on your part. And I understand you might want to look like you're with it, that you're cool, that you're woke, that you're not a Nazi, that you're not a homophobe, whatever it may be. But you can raise your child to be just a normal, regular, everyday child without including them in gay, sexual...
Yeah, that part. Hold on, I have another one too. Let me see. Hold on, I'm so sorry, y'all.
The LGBTQIA++ XYZ LMNOP MAP movement, they no longer stand for equality or inclusion. They stand for cultural dominance. And I really decided to step away once they started pushing hormones and castration and sterilization on children. Because guess what? When I was 9 years old, I used to sneak and wear my sister's cheerleading outfits. I've always loved hair and makeup. So if I had been born today in this modern LGBTQIA XYZ culture, they would have told me I'm in the wrong body. And they could have given me hormones. They could have mutilated me before I was 18 and knew what I was doing. So the reason I stepped away is because all I ask is the freedom to be gay, wear a wig, have a good time. My freedoms end where the freedoms of others begin. And that includes evangelical Christians. That includes people who say I'm going to hell, because I am a free speech absolutist. And if I want to have the free speech to, be crazy and have fun, then I have to defend the free speech of others. And so that's why in 2019, I just said enough is enough. This LGBTQIA plus movement is doing things in my name, so to speak, that I cannot tolerate.
That's what I mean. It's been hijacked by Cody and her band of ugly ass thugs.
So for all of you cisgender women, naturally born women who think that trans women...
not naturally born. Again, not naturally born. Nothing about it is natural.
I make mistakes.
Nothing about that is natural.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, for women
Ugly
who
ass.
select
Assigned female.
Ugly. Ugh. Ugly. Nothing about that is natural. What's that? A whole nother human being being referred to as that? Yeah. No, that is not right. That is not right.
Footage has gone viral this week of a show called Cabba Baba Rave
This is a show.
that is meant for babies. Yes, babies.
This is the
It is
show
a
that I'm
touring
talking
show
about.
that goes from place to place,
Fair
performing
use.
sexual cabaret
Not trying to steal
for
nobody's
babies and
content.
toddlers.
This is disgusting.
But
It's
that's what I was
disgusting.
talking about.
Oh my god.
Don't judge.
Again, these are
Not trying to steal nobody content, just trying to show what I was talking about when I was talking about the drag shows. Because I have pictures from there in the book. But, yeah. It's gone too far. And my thing is, okay, and I think I might even touch on this, later on down, reading. But I'm saying this now, parents, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? And this, okay, and that show that I just showed, that does not take place in the States, I don't think. I think it takes place in, London or somewhere like that. But even to them over there, what the hell y'all doing? What are you doing? That's so stupid. I am not alone in how I feel. There are others in the LGBTQIA community that don't agree with these types of shows being aimed at kids. There are even people in the LGBTQIA community that don't agree with all the new gender terms. Some of these people are really crazy, like this character named Cody that I have seen on an Instagram reel. This Cody character got to naming all these pronouns, medical disorders, and other stuff. What the hell is a demi-low romantic? Demi-romantics, in parentheses. I loved how Ben was looking shocked, like I was, as Cody was listing off all of what Cody is. Then Ben asks, is this how she introduces herself at parties? Now, I did look up some of these terms, and basically, they are just fancy names for the way some people might feel. Example, demi-romantics are individuals who need to form a strong emotional bond with someone before sexual or romantic attraction can occur. I do feel like this is me to a certain extent, but honey, I would just say it. I don't need some fancy title to make people think that I'm smart or different. That's what all this is. If you were not born with a cervix, ovaries, a uterus, and all the things that make up a cisgender woman naturally, then you are not a woman. I can respect your transition into a woman, but we both know that you are not a woman. The male body was not designed to have a uterus transplanted into it. So naturally, our male DNA would treat the uterus as an infection and attack it. Men naturally don't produce enough blood to sustain the man and a baby in his womb. What really bothers me is how everyone wants to believe in science until it doesn't work in their favor to sell their confusion. I've never seen so many folks, oh, trust the science, during COVID, but we don't want to trust the science when it comes to the biological makeup of a male and female. Be who you are, but the facts are the facts. I also feel like a lot of decisions / laws are being made to validate and or accept a community that has massive inner turmoil towards each other. I also think that at the time it was being decided for same-sex marriage to be legal in America for most gay people that were getting married at the time, it truly was not about two people who loved each other. It was more of, we are doing this because at one point we couldn't. And the majority of those who got married were lesbians. How do I know this? In 2020, a study was done on gay marriage by the Williams Institute. 300,000 same-sex have wed since 2015. Now, to be fair, I will say that the divorce rates are lower than the heterosexual community, but we all know straight people have been able to get married longer, so the divorce rates would be higher. What I want to point out is the fact that 66% of the 300,000 couples were women, not men, because most gay men are not looking for marriage. I don't care what that mouth say. Majority of black gay men actions be saying different. And they be that come from the Savage Institute. Tell you a thing or two. Oh, I'm sorry, I already did, huh? Okay, and so, dang, I did say something about the divorce rates, but I just saw something on here, and maybe this is more recent. I'm not sure.
I could not resist, so I had to look it up. From the Office of National Statistics, from a 2019 study, in ever-increasing numbers, we are now at a lesbian divorce rate of 72%. So the top 4 reasons that they are reporting getting divorced is feeling ignored, inequality in the partnership, adultery, and domestic violence. Personally, I feel like this lends some weight to men's arguments and complaints about how women are behaving in relationships. Because when you have lesbian divorce statistics that look like that, the girls are kind of telling on themselves.
Oops. No, I'm just, I don't know. Don't take that last part for the, because I have not researched that all the way. Continuing on. In fact, out of the 300,000 same-sex couples, 2 out of 3 same-sex couples are lesbian. This also means that lesbian divorce rates are higher than other same-sex couples and about twice as likely to file for divorce as gay couples. Do I believe my life is a sin? Yes, we are born into sin and shaped in iniquity. Let me repeat that. Do I believe my life is a sin? Yes, we are born into sin and shaped in iniquity. No one is perfect but God. I know it's a hard pill to swallow for some. Do I believe who I love is a sin? No. I will admit I had to learn the difference between love and lust. If it is real, genuine love, then no, because love is not a sin. With that, I want to thank you for taking the time out to read my personal story. I hope it helps you find you. I pray that people will use this as a guide. This battle is not easy, but you can overcome. There were many days I wanted to give up, but only the strong survive. And the last shall finish first, and the first shall finish last. I'm not trying to tell you how to live. I honestly could care less about how you live. And that's real. This is about the Most High, my ancestors, and the changes that I'm making in my life. Also, I did want to share the history of my people that I've learned. I have nothing to lose or gain for the readers of this book. Don't forget to love the Most High, love yourself. Let us all get better at treating each other with love, and sometimes that might mean you having to speak truth. Love and light, Savage.